All right, so this Monday, 7:30 at the Ridgefield Playhouse, you could see this guy, Eric Hutchinson, live. What's going on, Eric?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just trying to stay safe during the storm.
Yeah, how did you make out during Sandy, by the way?
Well, I live in New York, in New York City, but I've been on tour, and we had a show in Burlington, Vermont, and the band and crew kind of all stayed up there to wait out the storm a little bit, and then now we headed down. We're got a show in Philly tonight. And we're kind of just bouncing around, trying to avoid Manhattan as much as possible, unfortunately.
Yeah, because there's not really a lot of ways to get around. I mean, I know people that normally take mass transit from Connecticut here to New York City, and with mass transit just shut down, it takes them 4 hours just to get into work in the morning.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy, but it's been I think everyone's ready to do something. Everyone's a little cooped up, so I'm excited to start performing again.
Now, you are originally from Washington, D.C., Maryland area, correct?
Yeah, born and raised.
You still have family down there? You keep in touch with them?
Yeah, still got my family still lives down there, and I get down there pretty often, and we do shows there pretty often. So,
how badly were they hit down in the Maryland area?
From what I can tell, pretty minimal in the areas that I know people, at least. Same here in Philly. You would never even know something had gone on. It's pretty relaxed around here. So obviously the closer to the shore has been hit much worse.
You have a pretty interesting name for your tour, Almost Solo Tour. Tell me all about that and where the name came up from.
Yeah, the Almost Solo Tour is kind of a return to my roots. I started out, I was touring by myself in the early years, just driving myself around in my Honda Civic because that's really all I could afford, and just doing shows anywhere I could. Anyone that would let me play, I would go and play solo acoustic. And I kind of, now I've got a full band, and that's a different show, and I have a blast doing that. But I did sort of miss some of that intimacy. So I decided to do like an acoustic tour, and so it's me and just my keyboard player, Elliot Blofis, and it's like a stripped-down acoustic show, but it's little, I'm telling stories, I'm telling jokes, I'm taking requests, and it's been a lot of fun, I'm having a blast every night. Every night is different, and the crowds have been really great. Now,
Ridgefield Playhouse is about a 500-seat theater. Do you like performing in those smaller, intimate venues?
Yeah, like I said, the whole tour has been seated, so it's fun. It's a different vibe. People pay attention more. I can do certain things with the songs and with the, with talking in between the songs that I can't do in a bigger club, when people are drinking and stuff. So it's a fun show. It's definitely a way to kind of, blow off a little steam and kind of just relax and have some laughs and enjoy some music.
All right, so we are talking with Eric Hutchinson this Monday night, 7:30, Ridgefield Playhouse. He is going to be there. Eric, describe your music and some of your musical influences.
Well, probably my biggest influence is the Beatles. They were just huge in my house growing up. My parents were diehard Beatles fans, and my dad used to play the Beatles, and my mom would quiz me on which Beatle was singing which song. So they kind of were the beginning of pop music to me. I also love Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder and Paul Simon. So, I love all kinds of stuff, and I think that sort of shows through in my music. I kind of think my music is pop soul music.
Do you think of yourself as like a pop soul, kind of like a Jason Mraz? Are you compared to him a lot?
Sometimes, yeah. He's a friend of mine, and we've toured together and stuff, so, I take that as a compliment.
Now, you play a number of instruments. What would you say is like your favorite instrument to play?
I like bouncing around. I bounce around when I'm writing the songs and on stage, and that's part of the fun for me is that versatility and sort of those different options. So I think it keeps the show livelier and it keeps it more interesting for me, for sure.
So tell me about your album back in the day, Sounds Like This. It won praise from gossip blogger Perez Hilton, which sent it into the top 10 of iTunes. Do you have to give him any royalties?
No, he doesn't collect royalties. He's a buddy of mine, and he's been really supportive from the beginning and continues to be supportive, and I still see him from time to time. Actually just ran into him. We both have the same vocal coach now, apparently. So ran into him at a vocal session, and he's just a huge music lover, and he's been really, really great, But, that album was a lot of fun, and I still play a lot of those songs on this tour.
Let me get this. You guys have the same vocal coach? Is he, coming out with an album?
He was doing an off-Broadway show called Musical, and my vocal coach works with lots of Broadway people and stuff like that. So there's always somebody. Every time I'm there, there's always some kind of star or something like that. And the door opens and he walked out, and we were both kind of surprised to see each other. It was cool.
All right, so tell me about the album Moving Up, Living Down. Like, where did you come up with the name? Where can we get it? You know, just go into a little album sell here.
Yeah. The album Moving Up, Living Down, well, that word, that phrase to me is kind of, I wrote the album since moving to New York City, and it's kind of, about the transition of growing up and moving from the suburbs to the city and trying to keep up in a city as fast-paced as New York. I think that's a little bit moving up, living down. Every time you make some headway, then there's always something that's a step back, and it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But yeah, I'm really proud of the record. I did I recorded half of it in London and half of it in LA, and I mean, I've been on tour all year, really singing the songs, and that's my favorite part of the album process. There's writing it, there's recording it, and then now getting to sing the songs with the fans singing it back to me is really the best. So I've really been on tour all year, just playing everywhere, and the fans have been awesome.
That's got to be, weird, strange, like awesome, all wrapped into one when the fans are singing your lyrics to you as you're singing, and all you have to do is basically just hold the microphone to the audience.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I try to sing as much as possible, but it's a really cool feeling to have a room full of people all stand up and sing along to something that I wrote. So it's been great, and the fans have been awesome. And again, this tour has been really a cool way to do it because there's really there's not so much of a wall between me and the crowd, and it's really interactive.
Moving Up, Living Down, where can we get it?
You can get it on iTunes or Amazon or, I don't even know where people buy CDs anymore, but I assume you can get them other places too. But yeah, you can get it on iTunes. It's probably the easiest one. Go get it right now.
Yeah, do it like right now. Eric wants you to buy his album now before you go to his show, or even buy it while you're at the show. I'm sure that they'll be selling it.
You can definitely get the album at the show. Good point. You can get it signed by me at the show.
Oh, even better. So that's Monday night, the Ridgefield Playhouse, starting at 7:30. You're going to see Eric Hutchinson live. Now, Eric, you were originally signed to Madonna's Maverick Records, which brings up the question, have you met the Material Girl?
No, I didn't get to meet her. I was, at the time, her manager was running the label, so I met him a few times, but yeah, I never got to meet Madonna, unfortunately.
What would that be like, I wonder, like meeting Madonna?
I don't know. I can't really imagine Madonna coming in, giving me notes on my album or something like that, so, I don't know. It would be interesting. I used to do a cover of Material Girl for a while, so maybe we could have done a duet.
I mean, what would you say? I mean, what would you ask? I think I would choke up.
Yeah, at this point, I've been around some pretty big music people, and it's actually, they're usually pretty down to earth, and, everyone just wants to talk music or talk about what's going on with their lives or travel or families or whatever. So, most people are pretty relaxed.
How cool was it to have your song, Watching You Watch Him, featured in this year's season premiere of Grey's Anatomy?
Well, first of all, it made my mom really happy. But yeah, it was really cool. I got a call from them saying we want to put it in the show, and I said that's great. And they said we want to put it in the season premiere. I said that's great. And so we want to put it in the play almost the whole song and the intro of the beginning. And I was like, oh, amazing. So it felt really cool. They're definitely tastemakers and have like you said, sort of put a spotlight on some really great music, so I'm proud to be a part of that.
So Eric Hutchinson, this Monday night, Ridgefield Playhouse, you acoustically, we want you, jamming, we want the crowd singing your song.
Yeah, it's just really, I'm just having a blast. The crowds have been awesome, and it's just a really cool way, if you don't know much about the music, it's a great way to get to know me, because I get to really interact with the crowd, and if you know the music, it's a really fun, different way to kind of see the songs and hear them, kind of the way I write them, just kind of stripped down and back to basics.
Yeah, it's like you in the studio with an audience.
Exactly.
So one last thing from you. How cool is it to be known as one of the most talented singer-songwriters that Boston has to offer?
It feels pretty good. I went to college at Emerson College in Boston and kind of got started doing music there full time, and we just played there last week. It's always a great town to play, and have a lot of Boston pride.
All right, thank you so much, Eric Hutchinson. He's going to be at the Ridgefield Playhouse this Monday night starting at 7:30. The Almost Solo Tour. Thanks for joining me, Eric.
All right, thank you. Be well.
And we'll look forward to seeing you Monday night.